Good evening. It is Monday, June 17th, 2024. So thank you so much for joining us today. I think we're live on Facebook and Indeed. And I forget the others. Um, but thank you and YouTube. And thank you for joining. So, as is customary, we begin with what we call a winning strategy, and I take a few minutes to explain that, and then we'll have a chance to dialogue with our guest. I will post the call-in website, so if you'd like to call in, you certainly can. So that should be posting if it hasn't already. But let's begin with our winning strategy that we want to cover tonight. And it is called the Navigator's Quest, One Slice at a Time. I often talk to people and they'll say to me, I'm going to take it one day at a time. And I often remind them, good, because that's how it's going to come. It's going to come one day at a time. Often we get overwhelmed because we're trying to plan for more than what can happen. Life can only come to you one day at a time. So what's important is that we do is we take a slice of that time and try to make sense of it and try to make it better. And as is customary, we take a word and develop a circumstance and develop an acronym as a way for us to try to remember what behaviors we need to employ when the time warrants. So, of course, we've taken slice and we've broken it down to highlight what are the 5 things we need to do as we're trying to take one slice at a time. So first, often we need to stop. And part of that stop is making an effort to settle our spirits and to not allow ourselves to be overwhelmed. Second is that we need to label what we're dealing with and try to figure out what to call it because often we can't fix something that we haven't labeled. So that's often the second thing we need to do. And then now because we've labeled it, after we have stopped, we can begin to investigate it and try to figure out where did it come from? How did it start? What's its genesis? And to take the time to examine it a little closer. And because we've stopped, we've labeled, we've investigated, now we can figure out what we want to do, and we can develop a contract, an agreement with ourselves and others to address this circumstance. And after we have developed that contract, we can begin to execute that contract and that plan so that we begin to attain our personal best. And then we start all over again. We take a different slice out of something else that may be going on in our particular life. And often we fail to remember all the different parts of us as a person and all the different slices of our life that we should be working to address. I'm trying to find that slide, so just bear with me for a second. That reminds us of us as a whole person and all the different slices, there it goes, of our life. So we need to remember that often we're trying to take a slice and to deal with an aspect of our health, another aspect of our spirituality, of our personal development, of our finances, of our environment, of our education, of our recreation, and of our family and friends. And what's important for us to keep in mind is that none of these are more important than the other. Often we forget that they require and need the support of the other areas of our life. So our finances will need the support of our education. And often our finances, there's a correlation between how much education we have and the finances that we have. And our ability, often our finances will determine our ability to recreate or not. Also to provide for our family and friends. So again, one area calls upon the other areas in order for us to realize the satisfaction in one area often requires us to manage the different aspects in the other areas of our life. So it's important for us to keep that in mind as we venture forth, and just to recognize things come to us slowly. And it's important for us to keep that in mind as we go forth. So, that is the winning strategy we wanted to cover with you for this evening. I hope that is helpful to you as you think about what lies ahead. Again, just to remind yourself, it comes one day at a time, one slice at a time. So let's start out with our first guest for the evening, which I see is Miss Asia Buu. And I did not know her as Asia Buu. I knew her as Asia, but maybe life has turned her into Asia Buu. So, hello, Miss Asia. How are you?
I am doing good, Mr. William.
Very good. So, where did the Boo come from in your name?
Well, my family raised that name
Okay.
because of the fact I gotten older and my niece, she likes to play peekaboo and everything.
Okay.
And, you know, I love that name now.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to grow to love it too.
Hmm.
So, it's been quite a long time since we've seen each other. So, how are you doing, Miss Asia?
I've been doing fantastic.
Okay. Tell us more when you say fantastic.
Well, I live in Harrisburg now,
Mm-hmm.
and I live on my own
Very good.
in downtown Harrisburg. I look after myself and I have a one on one and
Mm-hmm.
everything. I do fantastic on my own, even though I had surgery on my foot
Mm-hmm.
and I lost my mother like between 4 years ago, between 4 to 5 years ago. But I'm doing good and my whole family is looking after me and everything.
That's good.
And I am doing just good right now. And I'm about to go on vacation
Oh, good. Where are you going?
to Baltimore, Maryland to see my niece.
Wow. That's one of my favorite places. I love the Inner Harbor there.
Yeah, so everybody's just helping me to look after myself.
That's good.
Because right now, living on your own is really hard,
Mm.
especially with COVID.
Yeah.
So right now is hard, but when you see it, when you have your own house, it's really easy.
Mm.
Especially when you don't have to pay your own bills. Especially if you have like a payee. That's even the easiest part of all for me.
So it seems like you have a lot of people who are interested in making sure you are able to do well.
Oh yeah, it's not. I mean, if you have help, especially if you have a one-on-one, a caseworker, and a payee, it's not that hard.
Mm.
But if you don't have help, it's going to be harder on yourself.
Sure. But, but
So,
but Asia, how did you learn to accept the help? Because not everybody is able to accept the help. How did you learn to be willing to accept it?
well, the thing of it is, thanks to my family, they're really popular in Harrisburg.
Hmm.
So it's not that hard to get help because my family in Harrisburg, they're really, really popular and real big.
Mm.
So I can't turn down the help at
Mm.
all.
So you have help from famous people.
Yeah. Yeah, yes, you can say that. So
Okay.
I can't turn down the help, no way.
All right.
Because where I live at right now, they know my family everywhere I go.
Mhm.
Everywhere I turn, they know my family.
So you can't
And
hide. You can't hide if you wanted to.
no.
Okay. That's good.
So yeah, so it's like everywhere I go, they say, Asia, do you need help? Do you need something from the store? And I said, yeah. So, and that's what I said. Like I told people, if you need help, don't turn it down.
Sure.
Just say yes.
Okay. Well, I need to come hang out with you because if everybody's asking you if you need some help and they're giving you help, I need to become your buddy.
Yeah, 'cause I got like me, I volunteer downstairs to help
Mm,
and wiping down tables.
mm,
I volunteer to do a lot of stuff because they need help too. And
sure.
then, and once you give help back.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wow.
that's why, and that's how I got taught. If you give help, you will give help back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I got taught from my family.
That's good. And what I'm hearing from you, Asia, is that people help you, and you're also helping people back in return. It's just not you
Yeah,
take. Yeah.
yeah.
That's
And
good.
plus, my behavior is not the same either.
Well, I think you're twice the age I last met you. You're now probably in your what? Your mid 30s.
Yes, I'm 36 years old.
All right. So when I met you, you were half that age. So I'm hopefully that hopefully with 100% improvement in lifetime, you've gotten better with your behavior.
Yep.
And we're all, a lot of us are pretty special when we're young. So,
Well, the thing of it is, when I was younger and when I was getting older, well, my mom never knew this and I never knew this. I was diagnosed with anxiety, depression,
mm-hmm,
and that's why, and I did not know how to control it.
mm-hmm,
So that's another reason why a lot of people didn't understand why I was doing the things I was doing.
sure. Right.
So
But you're doing better now.
yes, they put me on the right medication,
Good. And
and
what
I'm, huh?
and what lies ahead for you in the future? What are you trying to work on going forth?
Well, the things I'm trying to do is to get my life better right now and trying to get a better job
Mm-hmm,
and trying to see what I can do.
mm-hmm,
Because right now, for me, to be honest, I really don't have anything in the future because I gotta work on myself right now.
mm-hmm,
Because I just lost my mom like 4 years ago, and they told me it's gonna take 4 years for me to get better in
mm-hmm.
my anxiety.
Okay.
So I can't say what's gonna happen in the future. I
Sure.
really don't.
Sure. And when you lose someone as important as your mother, that's always a very difficult thing, and it does take time.
Yeah,
But generally, it gets better with time. So I would just give yourself some more time to work it through, and you're still young, so you have some time to make some stuff happen for yourself.
yeah.
So I want to say that I'm very proud to hear that you're doing as well as you're doing, and I thank you for reaching out to Ms. Nitsa and telling her you wanted your 15 minutes of fame. So you have it now. I think it's been like 12 minutes, but uh,
Mhm.
so I'm so I thank you for being on the show, and I want you to make sure you check back with us. We don't have to
Okay,
wait, and just let us know how you're doing.
I will.
All right.
I will never forget you. Trust me, I will never forget you.
And Asia, I will never forget you.
So thank you. And tell your wife and kids I said hi.
I certainly will. I certainly will. They're watching, so they're looking at you right now. So they watch the show every week. So they're looking.
Oh,
Yeah. So they heard you. I'll make sure I tell them again. But we'll send you the link. This will be on the internet for years to come. So I'll pass it on to
okay.
you. All right.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you so much. Be well. Take care. Bye-bye.
You too.
Thanks. So that was Miss Asia Buu checking in to let us know that she's doing okay. And our show colleague, Miss Cheryl McLeod, says if you give help, you will get help back. And I think that's exactly what Miss Asia is saying. So we have another guest who's returning, Mr. Clayton. So we'll add him to the stage there. How are you doing?
Hello, Father.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. And you?
Very good, son. Could you raise that camera? Because I don't know why we're looking at your belly there, but okay. So how are you doing? Last time we saw each other was a little bit of a sad occasion because you lost one of your older brothers. But how are you?
I'm actually doing all right.
Okay. And why so? Why and how are you doing?
I transitioned back to Allentown.
Oh boy.
So I live in Allentown now.
Oh really? Okay.
Um,
Why are you happy to come back there? I thought, you broke free and had a new start.
yeah, but at the end of the day, it's like not everything is some things aren't meant to be.
Okay.
Sometimes you have to do what you feel is right and just take a risk.
So you thought coming back to Allentown was a good idea?
So far it is, yeah.
Okay. All right. And I see you on Facebook. You seem like you're pretty busy doing stuff. Either that or you just know how to appear in pictures looking like you're doing something.
No, I'm actually kind of busy.
No, you are kind of busy. Okay.
It's actually hard work.
A busy executive. So what are some of the kind of things that you're doing to keep yourself busy?
I started off doing landscaping.
Okay.
Then I went from the landscaping to the construction. Right now I'm gutting a whole house.
Okay.
I have to have it done in 6 weeks.
Wow.
So
is someone paying you to do this, or you just went into somebody's house and just decided to?
No, my best friend has a construction company.
Okay.
It's landscaping / construction.
Okay.
So he put me on the payroll and told me this is what we need done.
Really? Okay. So you're getting paid to destroy.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good.
It's better than parking cars.
Yes, exactly. Valet. But I mean that I'm sure that on some nights that was a good gig. No?
On some nights when you don't have bills.
Exactly, their bills. Okay. Because I guess a lot of times people with nice cars don't tip as well as their nice car. No.
They like Walmart too.
They like what?
They like Walmart too.
Oh, they like Walmart too. Okay. I think that's one of the things I've heard and I try to repeat is that rich people act poor people act rich. So,
You're 100% right about that.
People with the fancy cars pretend they don't have fancy cars. Okay. So what's on the horizon for you? It seems like you've reached this level of stability now with returning back to Allentown. What else are you trying to accomplish for yourself?
I'm trying to actually open my own landscaping company to start off with landscaping.
Okay.
And then to turn into snowplow.
Don't tell that to the guy you're working for now because he knows.
He knows that's the objective.
He does. Okay. All right. Well, that's a good person that's willing to hear you want to replace him. That's good. So must be a good guy. All right. So you want to potentially have eventually your own business doing landscaping. All right.
Correct.
What else?
That's pretty much it. Spend more time with my daughter and get to know my daughter.
Okay. How old is your daughter?
She's 12 now.
Okay. And you want to get to know her now? She's 12.
Yeah, she's 12. I've been gone for a while.
Oh, you were going. I forgot. I forgot the gig before the valet. Sorry. All right.
That was a non-paying gig.
Yeah, the non-paying gig. Exactly. But again, I think, your desire to want to try to restore things and make things right, I think is very admirable. But one of the things I also like about you, Clayton, is you have a nice disposition. Even though you're going through some stuff and going through some challenges, it doesn't stop you from smiling. Why is that? Is that because you're hearing voices that are telling you to smile?
When you're happy in life and you let go of the negativity and you try to only focus on positive and keep positive people around you, that cuts out a lot of the unnecessary antics or any type of way to backslide back to negativity.
Well, let's stick with that word you just said about backsliding. How do you know, and what are you doing more importantly than how do you know to make sure you don't backslide? Because there's so many people out there that want to see you do well. And you're one of those people that have such great potential. I mean, I think it's in your DNA. I think when I look at your brothers and your family, you guys have some real potential there. So I think you're backsliding, and as you talked about your daughter, that would be a devastating thing for her if you were to backslide. So what are you doing? And I must be asking some real good questions because you're starting to sweat. So I want to do interrogations next. If this doesn't work, this gig doesn't work out, I'm gonna go work for the FBI. But in all seriousness, Clayton, what are you gonna do to make sure you stay on this side of the camera?
Just to continue to stay focused, continue to stay working and stay busy and staying away from the negativity.
Okay. And please know, and I said this with all seriousness, whatever we can do to help, and I know your brothers and sister as well, everybody wants to see you do well. So whatever we can do to help you, you need to just let us know. We can't read your mind. We don't know your circumstance. But I think, again, we're one conversation away from figuring out a solution. Right?
I'm trying.
Yeah, but there's no reason for you to not succeed.
Correct.
Right? Everybody's rooting for you.
I appreciate it.
All right, very good. Thank you so much for checking in. Appreciate that. And thank you for being who you are and having a positive disposition. And I want you to stay in touch to let us know how you're doing.
All right. Thank you.
And Asia, are you, I know you guys, is there any chemistry here that I could possibly?
No.
All right. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I keep trying, what the hell? My next, show is going to be a dating show. One of our esteemed colleagues, Cheryl, said, non-paying gigs are not really non-paying. It costs us our freedom, and our freedom is priceless. So again, I think that's important to keep in mind. And also she said, keep striving every day. So she's offering some words of encouragement there. So again, I know Clayton, who also likes to be called Gambino, will take those words to heart. And I see one other person is trying to join us, so let's hope that he's able to do that. His devices are not connected yet. But again, it's always wonderful for me to hear from people that I've had a chance and were blessed with the opportunity to meet previously, just to call in and check in and let us know how they're doing. I think that's such a wonderful privilege to be able to hear their stories years and years after initial contact. So we appreciate those people that are willing to come on and share those stories. It's not always comfortable and easy, but we appreciate them being willing to do that. So we'll wait another 30 seconds or so to see if our third guest for the evening is able to join us. But again, I just want to, keep in mind that it's important for us to pace ourselves in this thing called life, and understand that it's broken up the way it is for a reason. And there's a morning, there's an evening, there's a Monday, there's a Thursday, there's a Saturday, but it's broken out for reasons. And I think often we lose our perspective because we just don't pace ourselves and understand the importance of that pacing. So I would just remind ourselves just to keep that in mind. So it looks like our last person is not able to make a connection. So we're going to wrap up our time today. I sincerely appreciate Miss Asia and Mr. Clayton coming on and sharing their stories with us and updating us on how they're attempting to attain their personal best. And so I do appreciate that sincerely. So I look forward to being back together next Monday at 8 p.m. on the 24th of June. So please take time to rejoin us at that time a week from today. Till then, please be well.